In this tutorial, we're covering ACM dashboards. Let's take a look at that. So first thing, no additional licenses are required. So any version of ACM, Enterprise, Professional Enterprise or Enterprise Plus will give you that capability. So you need to create a few things before you start, and let's take a look at that first. So first of all, you gotta go here to Physical Access and go under Global Actions and create the actions that you want to use in your dashboard. So click there. I already have some actions created here. So simulating lock all doors, restoring doors. So I'm restoring the front door, lab door, restoring all doors. And they can lock and unlock some doors. And also can change from card plus pin to card only. I think I'm missing one. I'm missing card or pin. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. So basically, you're just going to go click Add Global Actions. If you have questions in how to create global actions, we have another video that covers that. But I'm going to call this, let's call this card or pin. So this is simulating if you have a keypad reader and you want to change that, let's say throughout the day. So you might have a perimeter where all your readers outside are keypad readers. So you could use during the day an option to say card or pin. So the card holder can come in, either present a card or enter a PIN number to gain access to the facility. And then maybe during or maybe after hours, what you can do is go in a system and change that and say now are required to do card and PIN. So if someone comes in middle of the night, they'll have to present the card and enter the PIN associated with that to open the door. So those kind of things, you can create global actions to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and go here and go to door mode right there. This comes up. And now I can go here and pick the doors that I want. So I'm going to use card or pin. And I'm going to pick this front door. So let's say that the front door is the one that has that functionality. Okay, so go ahead and hit save. Keep in mind when you're creating those global actions, usually you're creating them in pairs. So if I'm creating a global action to do a lockdown, to lock all doors, I'm also creating another one to restore all doors, right? So if I'm creating one action to unlock a door, a particular door, then I'm also creating the action to restore that door. So you most likely creating that in pairs. Now, in the previous example I gave here, let's say that I want to have the door scheduled to be the perimeter doors to be in card and pin. So present the card plus the pin during the nighttime. You can go right here and create a schedule that will allow you to do that. So you put a schedule, say I want to have this after 6 p.m. I want it to be card and pin. And then 8 a.m. rolls around, I want it to be card or pin. It'll be that one right there. So, all right, now that I got my global actions created, I can start with my dashboard. One more thing for dashboards, you need to create a design first. The design I'm about to show you here, I literally create that in PowerPoint. So I went to the PowerPoint, made a design, and then use some boxes, put some colors on it, and now I create this dashboard. So the idea here is I'm going to place the buttons in top of those boxes. So this will give you a more visual indication of what those buttons do, right? Green, okay. Red, I have to pay attention to it. So this type of things. And then on this side, I'm going to use some areas. I'm going to go ahead and track areas for mustering purposes. And I also could have cameras on that if I want to. Okay, so let's take a look at that. So I'm going to go ahead and close this, close that. So for areas, first thing you need to do, if you want to track areas, you need to go here and add the areas first. So you create the areas. It's very easy. Just click there, enter the area name, hit enable area and save. You're not going to add doors in here. You just have to create the area first. And then once you have the area created, then you can go to the door, select your door. Let's say, here's my front door. And then you go here to operations and your area is right there. So if I drop this down, you see all the areas. So let's assume that in this case, I don't have in and out readers. It's a normal facility that just have readers to get access to areas. So I can just go in here and the into area, and all I'm tracking is the last time a person present or card holder present their card to a reader. So we're assuming the person is in that area or is in transit between areas. So again, if you don't have in and out readers, this still will give you some information. Okay, now that I have that done, I also have my design done. I can start creating my dashboard. So dashboards are created under maps. So you're gonna go up here, go to setup and settings, and go into maps. Click that. I already have one in here. I'm gonna go ahead and create a new one. And I'm gonna call this just dashboard. Hit browse here to pick the JPEG file that I've created. You can create, usually I wanna use this in JPEG. You can create any size you want. Just be mindful when you're creating that, how much space is gonna take in your screen, how big is your screen. So that would fit in, especially if you're integrating this with our video system with ACC and you wanna enter one of those boxes in the ACC camera matrix. So you could have that as well in there. So I'm gonna head and hit browse here. I'm gonna go to pictures and dashboard, and I'm gonna pick this one here. All right, I can resize it. Usually I'll create a find a size that I want, so I don't have to be messing with resizing and maybe losing the aspect ratio of the image I've created. I prefer to do directly into the file. So okay, done with that, just go ahead and hit save. And once you do that, this comes up. So here's the size of my file. I have partitions in here just because my system has partitions enabled. If you don't, no big deal. If you create a dashboard and for some reason you want to update maybe something in the file itself, you can go and update the file and then just come back here and recapture that. So all the configuration, all the buttons that you're placing on top of it, they will be there. Maybe if you move the picture around, you might have to reposition them, but they will be there. So that makes it a lot easier than having to start everything from scratch once again. Okay, so again, if you, after you finish this, you notice that, hey, I need to update this image a little bit, you can just go back, do the updates, and then come back here to the browse button and reselect that image, hit save. So this is the save button right there, here and at the bottom as well. Okay, now, here you have all the options that you can enter in a map. You can enter doors, panels, input points will give you the indication of the input point, output points to trigger cameras if you have ACM connected to ACC. And this is using the VidProx. So this is the cameras are being displayed in ACC. So you can do that as well. Zoom in and zoom out. This is great. So if I want to cascade between dashboards. So I might have this dashboard. I'm going to place a zoom in, and when I click on that, the zoom in will be linked to another dashboard, and I can keep doing that, linking between dashboards, and the same way to step back. So the zoom out is step back from that link. And then here it is, the global actions. Those are the ones that we're going to use the most. So I'm going to go ahead and start here with the global action, and dashboard we'll cover in a second. I'll show you how you can create a box here for area control, so we can see how many people are in a particular area. So let's go ahead and do this here. Click add global actions. You're gonna notice it's very subtle, but it's gonna be right there. It always puts the button up here in this little corner. It's a small little button there, right? So you make sure that you do one at a time and you move them. So I'm gonna do this, will be my front door, let's say. So, all right, so I'm gonna open the front door. So I'm gonna put this in here and I'm gonna go right over here, drop this down, and this is all my global actions. So this is how it's important. So this is why it's important for you to create the global actions first. So go ahead and click there. So let's say I wanna unlock the door. Okay, great. And now, because I did that, I like to do this again in pairs, so I want to do the other side of that. So I'm going to go ahead and push this down here again, put them right there in the middle. That should be okay. And I can go here and now say restore front door, right there. Okay. I renamed this to control room. I'm going to use the same one for my lab just so I can put some items in there. So once again, hit add, here comes the button, put the button over there. And now I'm gonna go here and say, unlock my lab door. And then one more time. And push the button down. And go here and do restore lab door. Okay, if I want to keep adding, if I want to save this now, I can go ahead and hit save. What this is going to do is going to close that and update the map here, the dashboard. I can always click in this arrow here to see all the elements that I already have in there. And I can click add in here to add more items. But by now you got the picture, so add here, click that. Button comes up on the top, drag them where you want it. So let's say I want to do a all doors lock. So this will be lock all doors here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that and go lock all doors. And then the green side of the opposite side of that will be on the green here will be restore all doors. Kind of redundant with this one here. So the lockdown would have more capabilities. I can go in global actions and create what is called a global action group. And on that global action group, I can go and have different actions happening or being executed as a group. I'll show you this in a second how to do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and drag this one down here and go ahead and enter, this will be set the restore all doors right there. Okay, great. And then this one is set perimeters, badge, and keypad. So that one to the badge and card plus pin. So that will be that one right there. And move that in place. Okay. If you don't know what the action does, if you just hover with your mouse on top of it, once it's saved, it's going to show you what the name of that action, so you can make sure that you pick the right action to be added here. Now, okay, you got the picture missing. Well, missing two. We can go ahead and do that, but let's go ahead and do this one right here. So how do I enter here the ability to monitor areas? So you're gonna click down here into dashboard. So I'm gonna click on that, and you notice that this comes up. I'm gonna first change the name of this label, and then change from text to a box. I'm gonna call this office, and I'm gonna change this element here to graph. Now notice that this comes up, okay? That no number means once I link that to an area, it will display the number of people that are currently in that area. So I can go in here and select add. So we're gonna do office in this case. I'm gonna change it to a box, so square, like that. I can make this smaller, so I'm gonna make it 150, let's say. You can type it in if you want to. That's probably easier. Just do that, 150. Maybe this is too small, but you get the idea. You can, let's say I'm gonna put 4 boxes in here, so I figured this will be a little bit too small. Let's do 180. Right there, that should do it. And then you wanna change the color. So let's say I want a little bit more a bluish type of image, maybe like that, okay. And all right, I got that all done. Hit save, here it is, okay? And now again, I'm gonna add, and I'm gonna do another one. So let's see, I'm going to do the IT room. Click there. I picked the area first, so I know how I'm gonna name it on top. It's just easier if you don't remember what areas you have. And I'll just go change that. I didn't cover that here for a second, so let's go ahead and put this box in here. So if I want to change the fonts, color of the fonts, same thing. So if I want to change that, instead of black, use a different color for the font, sure, you can do that right over here. Font size, I can make a large. If this is a large box, you put it as in the big display, sure, or make it tiny. So I found that the medium size is brilliant. And then if you reduce the opacity, you will see that it fades the whole box a little bit. So I'm gonna keep that at 100%. So this is nice if you put this on top of something here and you wanna see, you have some design in the background, you wanna preserve a little bit of that design, you can go ahead and do that. The slider here will do the same thing. And I'm gonna change this to square. And this will be 180, same thing. move into place right there, and then change the color. So I'm gonna pick there in this one. Let's say I want a yellow. So this is the color palette. If you know the color code because you're dealing with a customer that wants to use specific colors, all you have to do is just enter the color code right there, and that should do just fine. Okay. So let's say I want a yellowish or orange, like that. I like that. Save that. Once you hit save, this color will change again. Right there. And then all you have to do is just, if you want more areas, just go ahead and enter more elements. Once again, enter the element in here. I'm gonna pick the area first so I know which one I'm working with. So let's see, I'm gonna do lab. I'm gonna call this lab, and then graph, push it down here, and change that to a square like that, size. All right, so you can work with this and resize it depending on the size of your dashboard or how you want to handle that. I've seen people using this as with maybe with a background where you have a Google Earth picture and you place these boxes in top of it, a little bit fade out, so you can see the map underneath, and then you have the numbers that will come up in here. When this is connected, instead of no data, you'll see numbers in there. So I'm gonna change this one to let's do a color like that. Okay, I pick the area. Yes, lab, graph. Yeah, I think it looks all good. So go ahead and hit save. All right. And just to make sure we complete this, one more, and then we add them over there and we're done. And this one will be main area, like that. So main area, I'm gonna call this main area. And then go here to graph and square, push it over down here. We're gonna do the same size, 180. And this one is going to be a reddish type of color like that. There. And save it. If you don't position it right, even after you save, you can go ahead and move the items if you need to. Just hit save and you basically done with it. So that's it. So now if to take a look at this, how this looks, I can just go here to maps. So monitor, maps, click on that. Click into, here's the dashboard I've created. And here it is. Notice the numbers. I have an emulator running on this, so it generates traffic in the system. So you'll see those numbers changing once in a while. So you can click on it and this will tell you who are the individuals that are in that area at any given moment and when they last badge into that area. So that's all saying you could have someone that is currently in the IT room, but now, and when you click it, you see the person in there. Maybe that person left the IT room, is in transit to the office area, let's say. As soon as they get into the office area and they present the card to that door that is tied into this area, then the number is transferred from this IT room to the office. And that's why you see the numbers here changing once in a while, is because my emulator is transferring people from one end to another. So very easy, quick way to understand how this works. So all these elements, the way this is formatted, is totally up to you how you want to do that. Okay, I think that's it.